Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm G&G and today we are doing another FM24 experiment, and this time to mark St Patrick's Day we have put £1 billion investment into the League of Ireland, each club receiving 100 million in the Premier Division. We're going to see what happens over the number of years with that investment. Can an Irish club win the Champions League even, or even a European trophy? How will they invest it, and can we see some Irish clubs dominating Europe maybe? Before we get into the experiment, I just want to give a thank you and a shout out to the Flying Scotsman. Once again, he has helped put together this save for the experiment. Go check out his YouTube channel, lots of videos there on tactics and experiments and brilliant content. Go and check it out. So let's have a look at the League of Ireland. We're going to see the clubs here. We'll go start with Bohemians. If you look at the bank balances here on the top of the screen, 101 million there for Bohemians, and we go through all the teams, you'll see they all have well over 100 million. Some of them have lots of money. Shamrock Rovers, the champions, have 103 million in the bank. Shelbourne 101 million. And we keep scrolling down through them. You see all have 100 million at least in the bank balance. That's well over a lot of those clubs' estimated value as well. So yeah, that's a big investment into Irish football, £1 billion into the league. What will happen in the future? It's going to be the 10 teams in the league Premier Division at the start of the save. Of course, one of those clubs is going to get relegated with 100 million in the bank balance, so you'd expect them to come bouncing right back into the Premier Division. Going to be interesting to see what happens there. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to holiday 5 seasons into the future. We're going to see how they spend their money. We're on the 2nd of January here, 2023. We're going to see what they do in their first pre-season. Do they put it into facilities, wages, buying players? Where will this money be put? And we're going to see 5 seasons in, does it make any impact on Europe? So here we are, it is November 2028. The 5th season of this save has just been completed in the League of Ireland, and we'll take a look at the table from the first season of this save. And we can see Derry City were champions this year, followed by Shamrock Rovers, Bohemians, Dundalk getting the other European spot, and UCD relegated. We'll just have a look at Derry City. We'll continue to invest $1 billion into them, so they have over 500 million in the bank now. How did they get on that season in Europe? We'll see. Go back to the very first season and see how they got on in Europe. They were knocked out in the Conference League qualifying round, second round, by Midtjylland from Denmark. So yeah, that's how far they got. Shamrock Rovers would have been in the Champions League. They finished second this season. We'll have a look at how they got on in that very first season in Europe just to see. And they were knocked out in the Conference League second qualifying round. So that's fourth qualifying round, by Molde from Norway. So we're seeing around where the level was at the start of this save. So what we'll do is we'll just take a look at the league, and we'll see that the previous winners of the league are Derry City, that first save. They won it again in the second season. Now here's a really surprise winner. Galway United won it. Now Galway United aren't receiving the £1 billion investment because they weren't in the Premier Division at the start of the save. They won a title ahead of all the teams with the money. How did they get on Europe that season? So we'll see. They won it in 2025, so 2026 in Europe. They were knocked out in the Conference League fourth qualifying round by Djurgårdens of Sweden, I think. Yeah, Sweden. So that's how Galway got on. Galway then got relegated in the final season we've done it so far. So yeah, what a time for them. They got relegated, as you can see, bottom of the league. There's been no team. Shamrock Rovers are now won 3 in a row in the title. They won it on goal difference this season. Let's go through the team's bank balances for a second. We'll see the £1 billion investment. They haven't been spending much, I have to say. So Bows have nearly 500 million in the bank. So have Cork City. So have Derry. Derry have nearly 600 million in the bank. Drogheda United up to 500 million nearly. There's Galway United just relegated with less than £1 million in the bank balance. Shamrock Rovers have 362 million. We'll see that Shelbourne have over 600 million in the bank. Sligo Rovers with nearly 500 million, might as well say. St Pat's 480 million. UCD with 478 million. And then we're back to Bohemians. And just to see in the first division who got promoted from the first division was Dundalk, who of course are getting the money. So they have 600 million in the bank, but were relegated. So they're in the first division back into the Premier Division. So let's have a look at Europe to see. No club, I don't think, has made any impact in Europe. So we look at the past winners here of the Champions League. You can see obviously no Irish club in the final. We look at the Europa League, no Irish club getting to a final yet, and in the Conference League, no Irish club getting to a final. So what can we make from the first 5 seasons? The clubs are not spending the money. That's the first thing we know. So go back just for a second. For example here, let's pick an example of we'll take an example of the champions of the last season. So we'll go back to the Premier Division and we'll go to Shamrock Rovers, go to their transfer history here and just look at their spend. 750,000 spent in the first season, 2 million in the second season, 2.5 million the third season, 2.2 million in the fourth season, and the final season just gone, the last 2 seasons, 3.6 million and then 1.4 million. So yeah, that's why they have so much money in the bank. They're not spending and no team seems to be. And a quick look through facilities, you'll see, I think Shelbourne has spent a bit on facilities, maybe Sligo Rovers, St Pat's probably have as well. Looking down through, it's all basic enough. Derry City have spent maybe a little bit on youth facilities and training facilities. But yeah, so 5 seasons in, we have had Galway United win a surprise title. Shamrock Rovers have won 3 in a row, is it now? 2 in a row, 3 in a row now. And Derry in their titles as well. So we're going to go forward another 5 seasons and see will they finally start spending money and can they finally make some sort of impact in Europe. By then, they're going to have close to £1 billion each having been invested into the club. Well, here we are 10 years into the save, and I have to say we're not seeing a lot of difference being made by the money going into the league. If we look at the past winners since this has started, so Derry City won 2, Galway United with that shock title, they are not receiving the money, they won the title. Then we had Shamrock Rovers win 4 in a row, then Sligo Rovers, Shelbourne and Shamrock Rovers have won the last 2, including the previous one that has just ended this season. But if we look in European action, and we'll just go to the Champions League first of all. So we put in Champions League and go to past winners. You'll see no Irish clubs anywhere near this, of course. So 10 years in, yeah, would you expect Irish clubs to be in the Champions League final already? Maybe not, but no impression there. If we look in the Europa League, no Irish club there, and in the Conference League, no Irish club making a final yet. So let's have a look at those teams that won league. So we'll go back to the League of Ireland quickly and let's see. So Shamrock Rovers have won the last 2. How have they got on in Europe? So we'll go to their schedule and we looked at in the Conference League. They're currently the Conference League is not finished. They're currently 25th in the league phase on 4 points, so they might make a knockout phase there. We go back to the season before that. Where were they in the? They weren't in the Conference League. We'll see where they were. We'll go back to their fixtures and we'll go to the previous season and we'll see that they were in the Conference League. They were in the Conference League phase, and I'm trying to find. Yes, so they got through here. Yes, they got through in the top 8 in the Conference League. So there's a bit of a difference made there. An Irish side making it straight through to the last 16 of the Conference League. And if we go to the last 16, we will see they actually got through that round. They bet Maribor of Slovenia. So we are seeing a bit of a difference. So that's good to know. Let's see. I'm in a bit of a mess there, but where was this now? It's the 2022-23 season. Shamrock Rovers. They have nearly over 600 million in the bank. We're seeing the first time they made a difference. They got to the quarterfinals where they were knocked out by Borussia Dortmund 5-2 in aggregate, so putting up a decent performance there. So in 2022-23, Shamrock Rovers got to the quarterfinal of the Conference League. Let's see the other teams who have won a title. So Shelbourne won a title in 2031, so they'd have been in Europe in 2032. So we'll have a look at their fixtures and go to 2032. And they were in the Conference League. They were knocked out of the Champions League qualifying in the Champions Path first qualifying round. They've gone down to the Conference League where they were knocked out in the Champions Path 4 qualifying round by a team from Iceland, is it? Yeah, a team from Iceland knocking them out. So no impact made by Shelbourne when they won a title. Let's have a look at Sligo Rovers won a title. So let's have a look and see how they got on in the season. They were champions in Europe. We'll go to 2030, this is it. And they were in the Champions League and they were knocked out in the second qualifying round by a team from Hungary. Yeah, a team from Hungary knocked them out. And they got into the Europa League qualifying third round where they were beaten by Randers of Denmark. And then they're into the Conference League where they were knocked out in the fourth round. Were they? No, they've got through. Yeah, they're in the league phase here. So we'll go back to 2030 here. And we're looking for Sligo Rovers. Did they? Sorry, I'm in the wrong season now. We're looking for Sligo Rovers. Here they are. They finished 34th out of the 36 on 3 points. Only 1 win from 6 games. And that 1 win was against a team from... where are they here? Here they are here. They are a team from the Faroe Islands. So yeah, not a great impact there. So what we've seen is Shamrock Rovers got to the quarter-final of a Conference League. That's so far, I think, the furthest any team have got. We'll just look here quickly and see. Derry City actually got to the round of 16 in 2030-31. And we look at how they got on in the round of 16. Derry City, where are you? No, sorry, the playoff round they got to. Sorry, the playoff round. And they were knocked out by AZ of Holland. So Derry City making a slight impact there. We will go back another season to 20. See an Irish club here in the Conference League. Any of them get to Shamrock Rovers here again. Got through to the playoff round in this season of 29-30, and they got through the playoff round. Yes, so they're through to the round of 16, beating Maccabi Haifa. Into the round of 16 goes Shamrock Rovers, and they were knocked out by Lazio 2-0. So Shamrock Rovers are being competitive in Europe with this money in the Conference League, which you'd expect them to be probably without the money, to be fair. They probably could put up performances, but yeah, so we're not seeing huge impact by clubs in Ireland. So we're going to have a look through the finances of the clubs again just to see. So Bohemians have 793 million in the bank. They now have an estimated value of 803 million. Go through the clubs. Cork City with nearly 800 million. Derry with nearly 800 million. That's Drogheda United, nearly 800 million. Dundalk are close to $1 billion. Dundalk have spent absolutely nothing. They've been relegated a few times out of the Premier League. Darrell Horgan, a former player, is managing them. You can see not much impact on the wages, which is a bit disappointing. Shamrock Rovers, as we've done before. Over $1 billion in the bank for Shelbourne. They're not spending either. 750 million for Sligo Rovers. Pats of 800 million. UCD with nearly 800 million, and back to Bohemians. So if we go to League of Ireland and look at transfers, big money moves. Has there been any? No. Loan fees. We're seeing all loan fees there. Loans, freeze, free. We see deals here for 13,000, 34,000. No huge money being paid yet. Actually, here we go. Biggest deal here, 1.2 million from Wrexham to Shelbourne for Anthony Barnes, and then 1.2 million for a player, Burstow, from AFC Wimbledon to Bohemians. So 1.2 billion up to 1.6 billion in a deal is a huge deal for the League of Ireland in real life. So clubs are just slowly starting to spend money, which is good to see. I think one thing that may be an issue with spending the money is the reputation of the league. It's a 38 rated league in Europe at the moment. It is rising, which is good to see, but yeah, it's below, just ahead of League 1. Clubs with that amount of money, playing Ligue 2 in France, with that amount of money, they should really be spending more. So we're going to go forward another 10 seasons. We're going to go to 2043. Let's see, can any Irish club make an impact by then? Will it be, what's that? 2043 will be 20 years into the game. That'd be £20 billion invested into the League of Ireland. Surely some club is going to make a big impact in Europe. So we are now 20 years into the save. It's 2043, the 31st of December 2043. Let's see how the clubs have been getting on, and we'll take a look at the League of Ireland table. Here's Shamrock Rovers. They have been dominating the League of Ireland. We'll see here in the past winners, they've won 9 of the 10 previous league titles, with only Derry City taking the title in between. So Shamrock Rovers completely dominating, and they have been spending a bit of money. They've moved to a new stadium, the Shamrock Rovers Stadium, a 17,250 capacity stadium. Their youth facilities are up to 4.5 star, youth recruitment 5 star. They still have close to $1 billion in the bank. They are starting to spend money a bit. They have a few valuable players. When you look at their transfer history, you'll see they spent 11 million the previous summer or winter break, as it is in Ireland with the Summer League. Then 60 million spent. That's huge for Ireland. 60 million buying a player there for 20 million from Sunderland. Huge spending there. 43 million spent that transfer window. You'll see 18, 38, 47, 58 million. There's a huge amount of money being spent by Shamrock Rovers, and still with so much money in the bank. Of course, they're getting 100 million at every season, start of every season. Still, it's now £20 billion invested into the League of Ireland. If we take a look at the league table, Derry City are the other team that they did win a title. They've come second again. They haven't really invested that much. They have 979 million still in the bank. We look at their transfer history. They spent 2 million this summer, 5 million, 1.3 million, 2.4, 4.4, 3.9, which is huge money for the League of Ireland in real life. But with that much money in the bank, they haven't really been going all out for it, and it shows, I think, in the fact they haven't been able to keep up with Shamrock Rovers. We'll look at the bank balances in a minute. We're going to start a look at Europe and see, did any Irish teams make an impact? We'll look at the Champions League first. I would highly doubt any team got to a final of the Champions League. We'll go to past winners, and no Irish clubs have made the Champions League final yet. let's just look at the stages for a second and see did any club make it into the league phase even. And that season currently on the way. There is no Irish team in the league phase. We go season back. No Irish club in the league phase here. Irish club, yes, Shamrock Rovers here making the league phase in 2041-42. They finished 29th. They got one win against PSV Eindhoven away in Holland. So that's a huge win for Shamrock Rovers there. So they made a breakthrough there. Did they do it any other seasons? No, season before they weren't in it. Let's see, having a look here. No, not in it there. Had they made it? No. Yes, they're in it here again actually in 2038-39. They came 34th with just 3 draws to show. A draw against Napoli, a draw against Ajax, and a draw against Austria Vienna. So 3 points on the board. So yeah, they're making a bit of an impact in Europe. 2 Champions League phase appearances so far. We go back and back. No. Oh, here they are. Yeah, it's a 3rd appearance from Shamrock Rovers in 2035-36. They actually got a win in this. They bet Juventus at home, Shamrock Rovers. That's a huge result. They got 2 draws as well, one against Basel and one against Legia Warsaw. So yeah, they're making an impact in Europe finally, but just can't make it a real. And another season, the season before. So that's 4 league phase appearances for Shamrock Rovers. They got another win on the board against Karabag and a draw against Freiburg. So yeah, Shamrock Rovers are making an impact in Europe. They're spending the money. It is showing. And yeah, so we'll go down to the Europa League. See, did any Irish club get to a final? No Irish club in a final 20 years in with all that money. And we do again, we'll just go quickly through the stages. This is the current season and Shamrock Rovers are there. They are close to making it to the playoff rounds in this year's Europa League. Of course, with the Winter League or Summer League in Ireland, we're halfway through the Europa League in this season. Season before, any Irish clubs here? Yeah, Shamrock Rovers were here in the Europa League. They made it to the playoff round. Let's see how they got on. They actually knocked out Juventus out of the Europa League. So they've beaten Juventus in the Champions League. They knocked them out of the Europa League. They made it to the round of 16 where they lost 6-0 on aggregate to Arsenal. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. So we go back to the league phase and we go back another season. Any sign of an Irish club here? No Irish club in the... Oh, there is, sorry. Derry City were in it. I apologise. And they made it straight through to the round of 16. So Derry City through to the round of 16 where they were knocked out 3-0 on aggregate by Montpellier. So they made a bit of an impact there. Good to see. So Derry City in the round of 16 of the Europa League in 2041-42. We'll go back another year. Shamrock Rovers into the playoffs here the season before. Let's see how they got on in the playoffs. Knockout phases. They knocked Molde out in that round. Let's go through to the round of 16. And they were knocked out by Genoa 5-1 on aggregate. So yeah, clubs are making an impact in Europe. Slowly, it's Shamrock Rovers and Derry are doing it really. We're not seeing many more Irish clubs breaking through despite having the money. There's Shamrock Rovers again in the playoff in 2039-40 playoff round. Let's see, did they get through? They did. They knocked out Legia Warsaw. And let's see how it got on in the round of 16. They got through. They knocked out PSV Eindhoven. So they got to a quarter-final of the Europa League in 2039-40 and were knocked out by Aston Villa 2-0 on aggregate. So that's the furthest we've seen an Irish club get is the quarter-final of the Europa League, which would be huge in real life if that happened. So we're going to go back another couple of seasons quickly. No Irish club making an appearance there. No. Irish club the season before, yeah, Shamrock Rovers again. So Shamrock Rovers really are making the impact into the playoff round. What am I doing there now? Into the playoff round where they knocked out Braga from Portugal, so they're into the round of 16 and they were knocked out by Aston Villa 2 years in a row. They were knocked out by Aston Villa there, this time in the round of 16. So yeah, we're seeing an impact from Shamrock Rovers who are spending the money, so that's what we want. There they are in the playoffs again. How far did they get? Did they get to the round of 16? They did. They were knocked out by Roma this time 4-1 on aggregate. So yeah, we'll go just back 2 more. Shamrock Rovers, did they make the playoffs? And this time no, they're not in the competition. No Irish team in the Europa League this year. And we look at the year before, so that's the 2034-35, no Irish club in the Europa League. And in 2023-24, which was the first season we simmed on after 10 years, no Irish. Oh, sorry, Derry City were in it, but they got knocked out in the league phase with 2 wins. Those come against Dynamo Zagreb and another club there. I'm not even going to try to say the name of. So we just go down to the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. Any team get to a final? No. Not even close, I'd say. We'll just go through the stages very quickly here in the Conference League because I expect more Irish teams did get through. to this stage of the competition. So this season, there's no Irish club in the Conference League phase. Season before, St. Pat's got to the playoff round. Did they get to the round of 16? They did. They were knocked out by Real Sociedad. So yeah, St. Pat's making a little bit of impact. Got to the round of 16 in the Conference League. An Irish club here? No Irish club in this season. Quickly go back. Any more? UCD got to the Conference League but knocked out in the league phase. So yeah, they're making a bit of an impact. No Irish club in this year's Conference League. We go back another year. Linfield of Northern Ireland, I see, are there, but no club from Ireland in the Conference League. Another season, Derry City got to the round of 16 directly, coming 6th in the league phase, and we'll see how they got on in the round of 16. They got through to the quarterfinals. So we have quarterfinals of the Conference League here, and they got through that. So we have a semi-final, first European semi-final for an Irish club, and sadly they lost 5-0 on aggregate to Montpellier. So that's the furthest we've seen. Derry City in 2037-38 got to a Conference League semi-final, and now we'll go back, just quickly go back into another season. Any Irish club here? So no Irish club the season before in the Conference League. Irish club here. Drogheda United got to the playoff round. Did they get to the round of 16? They did not. So they were knocked out in the playoff round. We'll have a look and see who knocked them out. It was Zurich knocked them out 4-1 on aggregate. So Drogheda City's first real appearance in a European competition. They're knocked out in the playoff round of the Conference League. And then 2 seasons to go, we'll go back. And no Irish club this time in the Conference League. And back one more season, and we'll see that Shamrock Rovers were knocked out in the league phase in 2030-34. So in Europe we have Derry City in a Conference League semi-final, Shamrock Rovers in a Europa League quarter-final. No breakthrough yet in the Champions League. And just take a very quick look through the division to see the teams and their money. We'll go to Shamrock Rovers, as I said, nearly $1 billion in the bank. We have $1 billion in the bank there for Shelbourne, they haven't really spent. Over $1 billion in the bank for Sligo Rovers. $1 billion we'll say in the bank for Pats. Nearly only 50 million off $1 billion for UCD. Cork City have spent a bit by the looks because they have 847,000. It doesn't look to be working for them so far. Derry City, we've seen they've made a breakthrough in Europe. They're close to $1 billion in the bank. Over $1 billion for Drogheda United. Dundalk with $1 billion. And Galway United are a team who at the start didn't get any money, and they're actually the only club in the Premier League division in Ireland in debt, and that's why they've come rock bottom last. Did they get any wins in the season? They got 2 wins. They got bet UCD twice, but yeah, they're relegated. They won a title, so I suppose they're happy enough in this save. So what we're going to do is we're going to go forward 10 more years. We're going to go 30 years into the save. That'll be €30 billion invested into the Electricity League in Ireland. Can any club make that breakthrough in Europe in the Champions League? Could they win one of the Conference League or Europa League? Let's find out. Here we are for one last time. It is the 30th of June 2053. We are 30 years into this save. £30 billion has been pumped into the League of Ireland. Has it brought European success? A quick look at how the league has been going, and it's been dominated by Shamrock Rovers. Look at that. They have won every title apart from one in the last 20 years. 19 titles out of 20 for Shamrock Rovers. Lots of teams have been in the runners-up position, including UCD, Drogheda United, Derry, but it's been all Shamrock Rovers, and that's mainly because they've been the team spending money. If we take a look at them for 1 second, you'll see they have 841 million in the bank balance, but if we look at their transfer over the last while, 57 million spent this season, 25 the season before, 25, 123 million spent. Wow, it's massive money for an Irish club to be spending that. We look at that, always spending plenty of money, and that's why they're dominating the league. They have been spending the money, whereas other clubs for some reason have not. They're not even putting into facilities. I don't know really why, but yeah. So what we're going to look at now is we look at the Champions League, Europa League and Conference League to see, did any Irish club get to even a final in the 30 years we've been pumping money into the clubs. Let's see, Champions League, any Irish clubs there? No. No Irish clubs have made a final. What about the Europa League? No. So 30 million into the Electricity League. Has it got us a Conference League finalist? No. So what has been happening in the Electricity League? So we go back to the league table. We look at the winners. So Shamrock Rovers have won it nearly every year. Let's see how they've been going in Europe in the last 10 years or so. So we go to their fixtures. I have what I should have probably done at the start is put it down to just European games in their fixture list, and they did get to the round of 16 of the Champions League in this season, which is 2053. They were knocked out by Manchester United at Old Trafford, 5-1 on aggregate. They bet Bayern Munich though in the knockout playoff. So Shamrock Rovers knocked Bayern Munich out of the Champions League in 2053 after receiving huge amount of money. That is massive. So we go back a year, they got to the Champions League phase where they didn't get through out of that league phase. Just see where they finished. Let's see, we go stages, league phase. No, doesn't really matter where they finished. They didn't get out of the league phase anyway. Did they get any good results? They met Club Brugge, draw with Ajax, draw with Benfica, and a win against Villarreal. Villarreal, who by the way we are managing in our Jobless Greatness series, which you can see Monday to Friday on the channel. But Shamrock Rovers beating them in 2053. The year before, Champions League phase 2. So Shamrock Rovers have become regulars in the Champions League phase. They were knocked out in the knockout playoff the year before by Inter Milan. They got to the league phase in 2050. Got out of the league phase here in 2049. They were knocked out in the league phase in 2048. So regulars in the Champions League, as we can see here, always in the Champions League phase. Europa League, the 1 year here they got to the knockout. So yeah, they haven't got past that quarter final I think they got to previously. But yeah, regulars now in the Champions League phase, and for the first time got into the knockouts here and got to the where did they get? Round of 16 against Manchester United. So yeah, that's where they've been going. Let's have a look at some of the runners up. So Derry City have been regulars in the runner up position. Let's see how they've got on in Europe in recent years, and we will take their fixtures and just put Europe as well just quickly now. Yeah, so that done, we'll go here and we see Europa League round of 16 here, beaten by Valencia in the current season, and they're in the Champions League qualifying where they'll be playing Celtic in the league path. The year before, Europa League phase. Year before that, they weren't in Europe. Europa Conference League, they got to the league phase, is it? Yeah, no, they didn't even get into the league phase. Didn't qualify that year, 2050 at all. Conference League knocked out in qualifying in 2049. Knocked out in qualifying. Got to the league phase in 2047. Got to the Conference League phase, yes they did. Knocked out in the knockout playoffs as well in 2045 season. Knocked out the Champions League there in the league path and into the Europa League phase. So yeah, the regulars in the Europa League phase now and again. Couple of knockout appearances for Derry, but nothing spectacular really from them for the amount of money. Just check actually Derry's where's Derry? Derry's spending. Quick look at it. So 11 million that season, 38 million, 22, 51, 13, 28. They have been spending a bit of money, 65 that season. Spending a bit of money, that's probably why they're kind of keeping up with Shamrock Rovers. Not really doing a great job. But let's look how Drogheda have been doing in Europe. They came running up a couple of times. They've been challenging. So we take off these fixtures and look at them in Europe only. So Europa League Conference quarter-final there for Drogheda in the current season. Season before, they were in the Conference League phase, Europa League playoff. Is that qualifying? Yeah, that's qualifying, not the knockout. They did get to the Europa League round of 16, I see here, against Monaco. So yeah, that's a good sign. League phase here, they bet Juventus. Drogheda United bet Juventus in the Europa League phase. They also bet Boavista, drew at Fiorentina. So yeah, doing okay in Europe. Champions League playoff, they didn't get through. Europa League phase again. Conference League, to get to knockout rounds. Got to quarterfinals of the Conference League, knocked out by Bayern Leverkusen. And yeah, just constantly in Conference Leagues. They got to Conference League semi-finals. There we go, there's another semi-final. Knocked out by Arsenal on penalties. Oh, we were so close to an Irish club getting to a European final in May 2048, but Arsenal won it on penalties. Oh, that was so close for Drogheda United. Here we are, we see them in the European Conference League phase and league phase qualifying. They got to another Conference League semi-final and lost to Sevilla 2-1 on away in Sevilla. Oh, the two semi-finals for Drogheda United. So they've done well in Europe. Another quarter-final there. So yeah, Drogheda have been doing probably the best of everyone really. They've got to two semi-finals, are only penalties away from a final. Europa League phase there as well. So yeah, Drogheda really doing well in Europe, I'd have to say. And then finally, the other team that finished runners-up in this spell is UCD, who of course I managed in FM 23. Got them regularly to the Champions League phase. Couldn't get them out of that funk of being in that league phase and not getting out of it. How did they get on here with all the money they needed? So we'll just get the European leagues loaded up and we'll see how it goes. So nothing Europe this season, nothing Europe. Here they got to the Europa League round of 16 UCD, beaten by Bayern Munich comfortably. So that's good. Conference League round of 16 for UCD. Conference League, yeah, there they got to the knockout round again. They got to round of 16 twice of the Conference League. They got to Champions League qualifying. They were knocked out early on. They got into the Europa Conference League phase, and that's it for them. Yeah, so UCD, okay, round of 16 for them. Plenty of money in the bank of 906 million, but they're not really spending. Let's see what they're spending. Just a quick look at their spending. 25 million, 12 million, 4 million, 2 million, 1 million, 600,000, 2 million. Yeah, not spending huge, but it is huge in real life for an Irish club to be spending that money. Anyone else? Maybe a third place team, Dundalk. Let's have a look at Dundalk in Europe. Dundalk, of course, in real life have got to a few group stages in Europe. So how did they get on in the last 10 years or so? So we'll go again. Let's get rid of all these fixtures. President's Cup. So here we are. They're in the Europa League qualifying there. They got to Conference League quarter-final, Conference League knockout playoff. There they got to Europa League. To get to Europa League, no, Conference League again, league phase. We're knocked out in Europa League qualifying, Conference League phase. Yeah. Oh, I see a semi-final there, do I? Yes, a Conference League semi-final for Dundalk, knocked out by Brighton, beaten 3-1 and 2-1 on the nights. But yeah, semi-final of the Conference League there for Dundalk, and playoffs. Yeah, nothing there. Conference League knockout playoff round. Yeah, so a semi-final of the Conference League for Dundalk is their best they've managed. And if we go back one last time to see a team maybe that came third, let's see, is there anyone else that we haven't looked at? Have we looked at St. Pat's? No, we look at St. Pat's. Final team we'll check in Europe to see how they got on. If they had a third place finish, we'll take off these fixtures again and we look at it here. So they're in the Europa League playoff at the moment. Europa League phase there. Conference League, is that the league phase? No, qualifying, they didn't get through. No European football in 2049, 48. Conference League qualifying, they were knocked out early on, and yeah, they didn't do as well in Europe. No knockout appearances for them. They got to the playoff round 1 year here, 2043. They actually got to the round of 16, knocked out by Real Sociedad in 2043, and that's it really. No big movement for them in Europe. So what do we take out of this experiment? 30 billion invested, a couple of semi-finals, Drogheda United penalties away from a final. No Irish club reached the European final at all. We've had a couple of semi-finals, quarter-finals, etc. The League of Ireland is now ranked as the 11th best league in the world. So with 30 billion invested, we're only 11th best in the world there. Still outside the top 10. Have automatic Champions League spots that Shamrock Rovers are taking advantage of. But yeah, all that money, lot of clubs choosing not to spend it. Shamrock Rovers spending it and getting the effects of it. Yeah, really is interesting to see that the League of Ireland with all that money still couldn't get even to a European final. So if you enjoyed this experiment, please drop a like on the video. Always good to see that people are enjoying them. Please leave in the comments any feedback you have, any ideas for future experiments, or any other leagues you'd like to see pumped into money like this. Maybe not so much, but yeah, any league you'd like to see an experiment where they are investing money and see can they reach a European final. Please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really helps the channel to grow and helps you catch every video that's posted on this channel. And until the next video, please take it easy.